Need for Speed Unbound and Need for Speed Underground, well, they have merged with this most recent update. But which of the experiences is better by today's standard? So I played them back to back and side by side to get an idea of exactly what's different and what I would change, and ultimately, which one is better. So clearly we are on Need for Speed Unbound Unite, because you might remember they added the ability to use drift tires on the single player of the game. Well, it turns out that now, on an early version, by the way, you'll get access to this very soon, I can now play drag races offline. Again, doing something that Criterion has yet to do, but again, maybe they're testing the waters. The way they've done it is actually pretty clever. They've just used the Underground League events because that's, well, the easiest way. It's a proper playlist. So they've ported the playlist into game, and there must be a reasoning why they did that and not just the normal events. All right, let's get on with it. There's something worth noting in this game. Of course, the suspension is just broken. You've got the ability to... What the Well, it would appear that the game is confused as to what my drivetrain is. Anywho, what happened to NMLZ? Bro, what the hell? It would appear that my car is balked. That's just not gone well at all. There we go. Now we're picking... Oh my goodness, what is this screen? Let's pick Eddie's Skyline. That makes perfect sense. So it's a little bit balked. We can now see why it's not just a straight copy across. Okay, this time though, we are genuinely spinning the proper wheels. We are flying forward. Does it do the reset like on multiplayer? No, I don't think it does. Oh, get the launch, get the launch, get the launch. Oh, piss! There we go. There we go. Just like the old Underground games, we've got the lane switching. These are such short drag races. So the warm-up sequence is one of the newest things majorly in that you don't have that previously. The warm-up sequence is a little bit hit or miss. The way it works is instead of building grip like in most games, what you're instead building is an amount of nitrous that you get access to at the start. I mean, considering the game doesn't have a grip system, it's not a bad idea overall, but it gives us burst NOS level 2 to start with, and holy moly, look at that launch. Right, use the burst NOS. Oh my god, it's so weak. We need... Yes! That's right, you suck! You absolutely suck! That's what we need, baby. Longer boost, more powerful boost. We definitely need stronger boost because when you compare it to the Underground game, this is seriously weak, dude. Now, the features that they've copied is, of course, the lane switching and also just the ultimate drag stuff in itself. They've got some events with jumps, but clearly the game wasn't specifically made to have this. Whereas in Need for Speed Underground, let's pick again Eddie's Skyline, from the go, this game is set up to have drag races. Now, one thing I have to say, I think I absolutely prefer it. When I jump into a drag race, I want to do the drag race once. I don't want to have to keep repeating it and do different events. And the playlist system kind of does bother me a little bit sometimes. Oh my god, that was the wrong shift. The wrong shift. Now, you see what I mean about NOS as I now go and move the truck. That's a long boost. And the screen's shaking, the camera shake. The drag race is probably more adrenaline pumping on this game. And I almost think because you can total your car, the replayability is higher rather than... I don't know, the playlist system I'm not a huge fan of. I wish there was just a list where we could pick one event and keep replaying and replaying and replaying. I don't want to keep doing a bunch of different events in a concession. Like, it makes sense for the multiplayer experience, no doubt, but if they were to straight just port this to single player, as we're seeing right here, I want to play one event. If I mess it up, I want to crash and fail, and I want to start again. I think that's probably the best way for me to learn and feel satisfied in it. I'm pressing the wrong button to shift here. This is my drift spec car, by the way, so I'm kind of curious how this is gonna kind of do with the lane switching. It's got the drift tires on because I'm not supposed to have them on single player. It feels a little floatier. The lane switching's a little bit weaker on this game, but nonetheless, I'm very excited that it's here. The reason it's struggling, by the way, I'm running both games at once. That and maybe the mod. Maybe. Oh, we get to the end of it. How does it end? Considering there's... Oh, you just get XP and money. That's pretty cool. There you go. Racer X beat on the single player of Need for Speed Unbound. You should be able to do that in the next update, but of course it was a little bit jank, and I definitely think there's going to be improvements to it because they've really just ripped it from multiplayer and put it in single player, which big props for doing that, because now we can do drift and drag in single player on this version of the mod. Am I supposed to be making a video on this? I don't know, but you gave me access to it. So yeah, I definitely am holding on to that idea that there's something missing, not being able to fail. Like, I want to fail, and it makes me want to try harder the next time. Here we go. Launch it, baby. And the little thing it does at the start and then refigures into the lane. I love that. It's so old school, though. Absolutely so old school. Holy crap, where did you come from? Look at all the traffic. Jesus. The camera's shaking. Ah! It is so mental. I was a little bit mixed on the idea of the warm-up, especially every single round. I think maybe it should just take your one attempt, because I do like it's a nice little gameplay element in there at the beginning. It kind of changes it a little bit. Why are you so quick? But then I want to do it once and be in with the racing and just race. I don't want that time in between. That's not interesting to me. Loading doesn't count. That's different. When I press restart in this case, it loads and I'm straight back into the action, about to do another round of it, which means I can get when I want to focus on times, especially when they eventually want to do leaderboards and things like that, auto log returning. It just kind of makes sense that they should probably... That's the wrong button. I just pressed the handbrake. Why is shift the handbrake? I want to get in on the action and just go. The drag racing is the important part. I don't care about nothing else. So not only is it the Racer X event, there's multiple. So if you go to each location, you'll notice that there's Chase, for example, in A class. I think they've done a few of the classes. There's Boost in C class. That's going to be so slow. Is this my drift car? Oh, maybe I took the tires off because this is not drifting as I expected. Now, I personally think it's important to give feedback on these things. Of course, we understand the whole Kaizen system, so these modes and things they're adding to the game are not built specifically to be perfect. They're not built to be like that at all. They're supposed to be usable, playable, enjoyable, and if they are really good and people really enjoy them, the idea is to give you more of it and build upon it and build something bigger and better each time. Sorry. So that means they built this, and now for the next game, we could see improved iterations of it. And that's why I'm giving feedback now, because it's super important to get the feedback in now before, you know, all the team starts working on the next game. They've got a couple of updates left before that, but it's a favorite this video, guys. So the introduction with the burnout, not too sure about that, at least every single time. I like the ability to total. That's going to be an interesting point down below in the comments. Let me know. The totaling, I think, for the replayability, especially in single player, would be better, because the restart is sometimes, I kind of miss having to do that sometimes. And on a short event like a drag race, it doesn't have the same pain points as a long event where you're doing it for 10 minutes and then you have to restart. That's different. Those events are why Forza has the rewind. All right, let's check out the chase event. So it just seems to throw you in first with whatever car you have. This thing is definitely too quick for this event. Is this going to absolutely ruin my save? And should I have done a backup beforehand? Probably. One thing I do want to mention, obviously, is the wheel burnout animation is just... It's just a bit naff. That's not how you do a burnout. It should be consistently spinning. Again, I'm sure that's a limitation of the current code base of the game, but that's a small, bothersome visual thing. Just like in drifting, where the wheel, it doesn't counter steer, the car doesn't automatically align its wheels in the way it's supposed to go. These, again, I'm sure are things, are things that... No! Why did I change lane and change lane? No. Oh, it's a drift car! Oh, well, that's properly embarrassing. That was an A-class event, and this is definitely at least an S car. The lane switching likes to cause you a little bit of issue, more issue than in the previous Underground game. Again, all of these things are being added to a game that isn't built for it. So you've got to look at it from the perspective of, I understand the concept, but you absolutely need to pick and point these things out because, my God. Oh, and the suspension being broken, that's on me. These are cars that don't have the proper suspension mod upgrade. You have to buy a new car if you want the new suspension mod to work. I don't know why I installed the suspension mod for this video, because it really didn't need to. Oh my God. This is pretty spicy. I love a big old V8. He's pulling like a damn train though. Full boost. Oh yes, you suck. The sense of speed feel, why is it not? Oh, his lane switching is slow at high speed. He's pushed me off course. You dirty bugger. What is going on? Don't run 2 games at once. It's a terrible idea. I do miss some of the simplicity of older games. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Oh, and I guess another element we haven't spoken about yet is the ability to basically blow up your car. How do you feel about that? Like, if you just hold it in the red, move please. Thank you. If you just hold it in the red, this bar goes up and all of a sudden you blow your engine and you lose the race. That's one of those things that, like, I get why they added it, but at the same time, I think it's fine without it. I think the crashing, as much as, you know, crash cams, I'm not really a big fan. That would be a use for crash cams. If you guys want to use crash cams and reset us and fail us, Drag Race is the place to do it. But in terms of failing, I think crashing is the biggest deterrent. I'm going to blow my engine up for going in the hot for... Why did you stop? Frustration is good, folks. It's good to feel frustration sometimes. You feel like Kendrick. What is that noise? The blow-up valve on this car is so strange. And I love that they put the little detail of the people at the start of race and stuff. Oh my god. I need to pay more attention. I feel this game punishes you a lot more for just not being in this little bar area, this little tiny area here. And that's maybe not the best use of my time. I want to just drag race and go. My launch on my car should be more important. Cars today, all you do is put your foot down and it will launch perfectly for you. Let me have that assist available if I want to. Launch control. Hell, even when I'm not using launch control in my Porsche, as long as I'm like, so I stop, the car turns off, even from like off and you go, it just builds boost and powers on. Like, you don't need launch control. But anyway, my overall thoughts, I think it's a really nice integration of the drag mode. I think it becomes a little bit more tedious because of how exactly it's set up. As I said, I want to just jump straight in. But I get the question, the reasoning of doing it as is with all the playlists and the events in whatever the order that they're in is because it's too short. Drag races are short. There's not much to them. Like, this is ridiculous. The map wasn't made for it. There's different tiers of cars. They expect you to be on low tier cars. So the short races feel really long. But it's a really good attempt recreating the feel of drag races. Just, you know, make it more into the action, please. That's pretty much what I've got to say. Oh my god, I love the drag race on these so much. It just feels so much faster. I'm in this little 350 that's doing 120, but my camera shake makes it feel like I'm doing 300. I need more of this in my life. Where's the car? You evil! So let me know, how do you think their attempt did? How does it compare? What would you like to see them change in the future? The drag races. Check out these videos if you want to see more Need for Speed.